Hello, my name is Sean Williams, 27 years old, and I'm getting used to being in front of a camera and talking about some things about myself and my life and sharing them with other people. So this is kind of my initial practice. It's January 1st, 2020, so Happy New Year's to everybody. But this video is basically going to be, I don't know if it'll ever be released. I don't know if I'll ever share it with anybody, but I'm making it for myself so that it's actually a real thing in the world. And then when I think back on myself, it's like at least I made that, because it's just important to me and it's important to my health, I think. So I'm 27, and over the last, I want to say like at least 10 to 12 years, I feel like I've dealt with like things that I always just bottled up and kept inside and never really dealt with for real. And those things are depression. I'm reading off my book a little bit. I made some notes. So if that's what you're looking at. It's depression, anger, being an a-hole. That one's not really the same, but it's true. Anxiety / stress, and insecurity. And those 5 things for me, along with like alcohol abuse, I would say sort of abuse. I mean, it's like any of those things. I feel like when alcohol is like the fire starter, like not fire starter, what's that called? Where you dump it on the flames. What is that called? Anyways, it's called that. And not called that. The fire starter. I don't know, but alcohol is just what really gets some of these issues out into the world where other people can see them or get hurt by me, or things that I say or things that I do, or just a ton of stuff. And it's sort of like the gateway is when I get too intoxicated. And so I guess you could say discipline is another issue of mine. But I do have a lot of good things. That's not what I'm talking about in this video, but yeah. So the other issue I feel like I've been dealing with for about 4 years is my body, and like my physical, like my back is like been super tight because I've like powerlifting, like poor form, or not resting enough, or I don't exactly know, but I've just been dealing with like chronic tightness and soreness and like issues. And so kind of transitioning here, I've learned that mindset is everything. So dealing with all these things, like if you wake up and you say, today's gonna be a good day, then odds are it's gonna be a good day. But if you wake up and you don't feel good, you feel depressed or like in a slump, or like, oh, I don't wanna get up, or you don't have a reason to get up, or if you're in pain, then especially the ones that you can't control, like if you're kind of depressed and maybe there's a real reason for that, or if you're in pain like I've been, you wake up and your jaw is like clenched and you can feel the pain already, and you get headaches from this. Today's gonna suck because you wake up, the first thing is like, oh, this sucks, and it's a negative mindset. It's one that's really hard to shake, and it impacts even when you have like plans and good things going for you. You wake up and it's like your brain controls everything. So mindset is key, but I've also learned that small changes can have big results. So it's like mindset is key, small changes, big results. So that means, well, changing small changes in your life that don't change who you are or your sense of humor or you really don't have to allocate your time differently all that much, but like making an active choice and choosing to get help, or choosing to want to get help, or maybe it's a journal, maybe it's talking with your mom or dad or a friend or a therapist or whatever. But like small changes can have like really big results. For me, the biggest one is going to the gym. It sets off like everything for me and just makes me feel motivated. Like coffee in the morning really helps. That sounds really dumb, but I notice like I'll be at the end of the day, sometimes I'm like, I feel sluggish all day today. Well, if I would have had a cup of coffee at 8 a.m., I would have felt better about this, and that would have been better about that, and maybe I got the same amount done, but I felt better. It kind of changes things. And then the last thing is nothing changes if nothing changes. So if you're unhappy, or if you just like look at your life and it's not ideal, and my life is in disarray right now, so it's not like I have everything figured out, but you need to make changes to see those changes. And sometimes it's not always one for one. It's not like you start brushing your teeth more, you can have a beautiful smile and you'll be an actor and then your life's perfect. Or you listen to like 2 videos on how to attract a woman and then you have a perfect girlfriend. It's not like that. It's more like try stuff and then see what works, but you definitely have to make changes in order to be happy, and like try to figure out like what you like and like what makes you happy. You have to make changes. Like that's the hardest part, but once it's like kind of like, you get on a stair stepper for the first time, your legs are gonna be sore as crap. You're not gonna have your lungs, like you're not gonna have the stamina. But if you do that 3 times a week, the third time, or maybe 3 times in 2 weeks, the third time is gonna be easier. And so it's like about just sticking to it, trusting yourself and trusting the process and to get where you want to go. Transitioning again, I'm thankful that I'm dealing with these issues now. I'm 27 again. I'm not 37 and I'm not 47 or older. I wish I was younger. I wish I was 24. I feel like that was when everything really started kind of being more impactful for me. But realistically, like I've dealt with these things and these issues back through high school. So I really wish that I would have understood. I always, in my my ego or my id or super ego, whatever, definitely told me that I was like, I'm the one. I can hold on to like my whatever. I don't need to go into details, but I can hold on to all these things that have happened to me, and I'm still going to be a good person. I'm still going to be the same person. And that just wasn't true, and I should have taken an active approach to defeating that with like dedicating myself to a sport or a club or whatever to really get out of that. And then I'm also currently grateful at 27 for like my life status. So I'm not like the best looking or the smartest or the funniest or the coolest by any means, and I don't have a lot of friends, but I do have a job and I do have some friends, and I have ability to attract more friends and hopefully rekindle some past relationships maybe that haven't been the best because of me. And I don't know, like overall, like I'm in a good spot. I could go to Australia. I could climb Mount Everest if I wanted to. Like anything I really want to do in this life, I feel like I can still do it at this age. So I'm really excited for that. And 27 is not young. Like when you get to 27, you're like, all right, and you want to be successful, you're ambitious. It's not young, but I don't really have any debt, and so financially I'm okay, or at least I'm not in the hole. And there's room for optimism in my life, and that's something good to fall back on. If you're in a tougher position, there's always somebody worse, but I'm really happy that where I landed with finding out about my mental health problems is, and I'm still in an okay place. Like I'm not homeless or something. So again, I don't know if you guys will ever see this, but or I don't know if you guys will ever see this video, but I just wanted to make one for myself, to create one, to start creating videos. And then kind of the last thing is like, why am I doing this? Why am I making this video? And it's because I don't want to be remembered as a drunk asshole. Right there, basically that, or just an asshole in general. I don't want to be remembered that, because that's not how I feel. And I think a lot of these things are defense mechanisms or my way of coping with the way I feel. But ultimately, at the end of the day, like, that's not who I see as myself, and that never has been. I've always been somebody who's like, all right, not always, I haven't always been displayed it, but in my heart, I've always felt good. I've never really felt like, I feel like compassion for like animals when they die in a movie. And I don't watch the news because it depresses me. And like, I hold the door open for strangers. I hear about somebody and somebody's making fun of them, and I'm like, well, maybe you shouldn't. Like, I feel like in general, like, I have a good heart, and I feel like I used to be seen as like a sweetheart, and that's how I feel, and that's how I want to be remembered, is like a sweetheart, like a good, kind person. Like, I'm not going to cure cancer, but saying mean things, rude things, acting crazy, or just not being like calm and present is not the way I want to go. And I also want to be remembered for being a man. And it's really cool. I had this coworker, and she explained to me like what being a man is to her. And I always thought manly is like tough. You do, you know, go out, fix the car, fix the sink, whatever. But her take on it, and I really love it, is being a man means seeing what needs to be done or recognizing it and then taking care of it. So you take action on it. So for me, if I was a man at 23 or 17 or 25 or 26 even, or 27 earlier this year, I would have, or last year, I guess, New Year, I would have taken my mental health issues that have been around for a long time, and I would have attacked them, and I would have said, all right, I'm tired of this. What can I do to fix it? And that's what I'm doing now. And I don't think it'll really ever stop. I think this is just like maintenance for me, and you know, the habits and stuff that I go through, if I ever share, make more videos, are like for me, and that's what works for me. But I don't think they'll really ever stop, and I don't think that like my health, my mental health, will ever be in a place where I can like relax and just say I'm good, which that's what I used to think. I used to think, all right, Sean, if I get in the habits and then I'll just stop. But really, it's like, it's kind of true, but I still have to get up and go exercise or stretch every day forever. Like or if it's not that, I have to talk to somebody, or I have to go out and be in nature and calm down, or whatever it is, talk to a therapist. I have to continually be doing that forever. It's not really a bad thing. Like, it's just, you know, there's 24 hours a day. I can commit an hour to making sure that I'm okay and healing my body or healing my mind. There's really nothing more important than that. And yeah, so I want to be remembered for, you know, being a sweetheart and being a man that like takes care of things and does the right thing and takes care of the people that he loves, and always there for a helping hand. And I'm not the most like social person. I get social anxiety. Sometimes people just annoy me, like, as bad as that sounds. I think we all feel that way sometimes, but I really do want to be, you know, start creating my own legacy and start creating new habits for myself and pushing the limits on the person I can be. So I'm going to continue making videos and doing this thing because I think it's healthy for me. And yeah, all right, that's all I have. This is the first video, January 1st, 2020. There was no goal to do a video today, but I just wanted to do it. So